holding data, yeah, just to maintain role, really. But this naturalness...
I learned, I don't know where I learned, that if we see this body as a machine, spirit or consciousness is expressing itself, or I always call it the material world, it's God's dress, and
Nice.
it becomes visible. And then the more we are trained, the more our brain is trained, and the better our mind is functioning, the wider can consciousness express itself in in the material world. Is this
That
so?
could have just... Well, what's your experience?
It is actually my experience. It is, I used to work with people, and, if I had somebody in my group who really had a brilliant mind, who was trained, and if he got it, it was a whole chain reaction down. If he was on top of a company, it was a whole chain reaction down. And he had the ability to widen it into form.
Yes.
Yeah. So from that perspective, I feel it is good to train or to challenge ourselves and to study and to learn. I mean, it's all a play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
this curiosity that we are, it
Yes.
adores that.
Yes.
It adores what's called learning, which is just it's following its own curiosity.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm just wondering if you, as
Yeah.
life itself,
Yes.
maybe there's a thinking that's not small and requires no sound. I would call it just responding, really.
Right.
Yeah, like just in this moment. There's no thinking, but being is just responding, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. And I would suggest that's how all great artists
Yeah, I
and
agree.
natural
Yeah.
beings are
Yeah.
living. It's just the joy of natural responding from moment to moment.
Yes. Yes.
And you watch a little child, they're just following their feet and their eyes and their nose and their curiosity, right?
Yes.
And we're actually the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a 2-year-old granddaughter, and it's still, I can see she's still in unity,
Yes.
because she says to me, "What is Lorraine doing?" She doesn't say, "What am I doing?"
Yes.
"What is Lorraine doing?" And what is Lorraine playing? It's like she talks about this entity, it doesn't connect it with herself. And I want to pressure that.
Yes, yes, yes.
To
keep it safe.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's beautiful. So Pamela, we are coming slowly to an end and have to wrap this interview up. Is there any advice you can give us, any suggestions? Is there anything you would like to add to this interview?
Well, let's see. The burden of this return back to naturalness is not on us, you know?
Yes.
It's life's pleasure to play the role
Yes.
and then relax out of it. So just know that, there's full support as we return back into our naturalness. So we actually can relax, yeah? It does help to be curious about true nature. It does help to go to satsang. It does help to sit in the park. But really honor that you'll be led uniquely back to this naturalness.
I just have to recognize or follow the
the
leading.
clues. That's it. That's it. It's a great
Yeah.
treasure hunt,
Yes.
And we're the treasure, so.
So who is doing the seeking? if nobody is there?
Well, I would suggest it was the body and the mind.
Yes.
More so the mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it wanted the ultimate relief.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something I said, and that gave me a beautiful picture, that in the center of our me, there is still paradise, and way back, the me remembers the paradise.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
doesn't know how to get back there. And as through the seeking it approaches and comes closer and closer to paradise, it is ready to surrender.
Well, its nature is I am, the
Yes.
me.
Yes.
It's the great mimic of beingness.
Right.
Yeah. And it does remember.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's returning to its true nature too.
Yes.
So really we all can just relax, you know? It all happens. It's like seasons in consciousness.
Yes.
There was a season of identification, and then an apparent season of non-identification, and then a return to resting prior to identification or non-identification, you know?
Yeah.
Just here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you say meditation helps in this process, or how you know, in this driven world, we are also driven because, you know, on one level, the me tries to survive. I think that's the reason. What can it do, or what can we do just to help this process of coming back and relaxing and
You see, you just spoke it, coming back and relaxing.
Yes, yeah.
See, anything that you can do to support your body and mind in relaxing
Yes.
is going to be very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read also in your chapter that you say it is probably necessary to find, and you mentioned it before, to find somebody who is already at peace and sit. So you very much trust in the lineage.